Good evening. Welcome back to modifying an F86 Sabre. Well, I want to show you guys how far I got so far. I actually started hooking up the radio. Brought some life into this bird. But I want to show you a couple things. Uh, when was the last time you guys saw one of these? I got this years ago. This is by Dubro. It's a Z bending tool. I paid 20 bucks for it many years ago. And this is what it is. It's just two aluminum rods, and now you guys have these Z pliers. You just grab it and bend, and voila, you're there. But this is an old timer thing. So this is from the old school, one of the first Z benders. I'm gonna show you guys how it works real quick, just to kill a little time. What you do, you screw out the first rod or the first tube. There's a hole right there, a slot. You insert your rod, screw it in till it locks, then you bend it up like so. That's bend number one. Then you unscrew it until you see a hole there, and you insert that bend into the hole, back into the slot like so. Screw it over like back over, and you bend it. And you unscrew it, and voila, there you go, perfect Z bend. I've had this for a long, long, long time. And I just had to show you it because I'm still using it when I'm making my Z bends. And while we're on the subject of bends, I went and I got some more substantial control rods so I can be able to hook on onto my elevators and my flaps and ailerons. Now, this is what came with the kit, and this is thin. I'm speaking up a little loud because my furnaces are kicking on. Yeah, we got about 4 inches of snow over the weekend. So anyway, this is kind of thin, and this is one of these slide connectors that hook to there. Now, someone was asking, have I ever used these before? And I said, yeah, I have, many times. And from what I found, I use them on things like throttle links or something auxiliary or bomb release. That way, you don't have much stress on them, because one thing that's always happened to me with these, even when I use Loctite, they end up sliding. And you don't want that's small. That's okay for small planes. If you got a small plane, okay, no big deal, they'll work. But for something like this I estimate this is going to be about uh, 6 or 7 pounds. Be flying near around 80 miles an hour, and wingspan is like 56 inches. So I don't want this on my ailerons. That's why I went and got larger rods with clevises so that I can put them on there and I feel safer. Now, some of you guys do use these. Okay, you can make them work for you. That's well and good. To each his own. So that's what I wanted to show you, and I also wanted to show you my old bending tool. Well, I always did say one day I'm gonna get a set pair of Z pliers, but I have so much fun with this. Anyway, I've been hooking up the radio. Got my Turnigy in here, and one thing about this I forgot to mention, they don't come with battery packs. I had a battery pack that I used in here from one of my other radios that I don't use anymore. So I still don't have a switch, an auxiliary switch, and so I got to plug up this manually. And I haven't got the gears come down yet because I have to hook up this control box that controls the gears. So I'm still working on that because let's just say I'm having a fun time with this radio. There's a lot you can do with it, and it seemed like I thought I knew everything about it, but I didn't, because I'm learning more. The more and more I go through it, I seem to find something else. I did download a manual offline, and this was the manual for when it was, I guess, when the other company was producing this, before Turnigy got hold of it. Now I hear Nitroplanes has a version of this too with a black casing. But yeah, I've been working with this, and you see how thick this manual is? Look at that. And I think it's like 32 pages long. A lot of stuff. And this thing actually shows different graphics and everything of what works. But I'm going to show you what I got hooked up so far. Because I've been screwing with it and screwing with it. And I've learned how you can move some of the functions over to different switches. So let me plug this up so you guys can see. I'm going to throw a little extra light on here too. There we go. How's that? I look a little better? Okay, now, this is what we're going to do. First of all, we're going to turn on the radio. Oop, switch error. I get the switches in the right place. That's a safety feature this thing has. There we go. Now it's on. Yeah, when the switches aren't in the right place, when you turn it on, they come up switch error. So all you have to do is put up, what I do is I put all the switches up, put the top switches down, and she comes on. Now I'm going to plug this in manually. Give me a quick second. Alright. Oops. Careful. Now watch that big gut. I'm trying to work that gut off this week, this year. That's my, I guess you say that's my goal. Work off my gut. Oh. So let's see. Now, I got the speed brakes hooked on to the side switch here. Okay, let me zoom in on that. Now, watch this. There we go. So they just pop right open. Not bad. Got my elevator. Full flying elevator. Rudder. Oh, wait a minute. Gotta turn the ailerons on. I haven't fixed that dual rate switch for the ailerons yet. So I have to turn on the dual rates. Now my ailerons work. Yep, I have breathed life into her. And I got my flaps on this switch here. So you can see the flaps. And one thing that I like about this radio that I haven't seen in a long time, because I had an old radio. Oops, turn that antenna down. I had another old radio that I bought from one of the guys in the club. It was a big fancy radio with all kinds of stuff in it. And he sold it to me for like 80 bucks. And it had like 7 channels, and you could mix it and everything. Oh, I had that radio for a long time before it went out. But it has, here, let's turn those speed brakes off. It has a snap roll lever. I haven't seen this in years. So I went ahead and I programmed in the snap roll. Look at that. Snap roll. Snaps to the right, to the left. I haven't seen that in years. But wow. Like I said, this radio is great. It even has its own built-in timer too. So, like I said, I'm just working with it. Still working with it. That's why it's taking me so long. I haven't got those gears hooked up yet. Still working on those. In fact, I'm trying to find the switch that they hook up to. Because I've been switching some things around. At first the speed brakes were here, where the flaps are, which would actually I think I like better. Because this is like a on-off, 3-position switch, and I really would like to have the speed brakes on that. But then they end up with them right here. So I'm like, well, man, that's not too bad. But the flaps, there you go, right here, quick hit. Maybe I will figure out how to change it, because I want to put the flaps on one of the dials. I prefer to do that. That way I can have a variation of where I want position of where I want my flaps. But yes, I have breathed life into her, as you can see. It wasn't hard binding too. She bound pretty good. It's got a red light on the receiver, and it blinks. And once you plug in that little bind switch thing. Where is it? Yeah, this little bind clip here. You plug that into the bind port, and you turn on the power, and you turn on the radio, and that the red light will blink until it finds the radio. You know, and when it finds the radio, it stops blinking, and you're bound. Pull out the bind plug, and you're good. Like I said, that's what we got so far. And she's looking okay. Like I said, I'm crazy about this snap roll lever. In fact, I might even add more aileron to it. Just to get it. But, like I said, that's where we are. So, I got to do a little more work with it. Like I said, this is a crazy way. I got to do a little more work with it because this thing has a lot. I thought I could get by with what it had, but it has a lot. And like I said, there's your speed brakes. So, woo! But I'm having fun with it. Like I said, you just got to work with it and learn more, because even though this doesn't doesn't send you directly to what you need, it still gives you that general area which you can work with. And we pull this out real quick. There we go. That's off. And our radio's off. But that's where we are, and I'm still, like I said, still trying to get some things figured out and get those landing gears hooked in. I'm working on the fuel tanks. I'm working on a little paint design here, as you can see. I gotta go and get a couple more things for them. But I'm working on a little paint design with the auxiliary fuel tanks. So, you guys get snow? We got about 4 inches. So, that put me inside, working here in the shop. As soon as I get this thing a little more built up, I'm going to show you just how big this is. Because this thing is big. And that's why I was really worried about these little clips. Because this is a big plane. And it hurts when a big plane goes in. Especially one with as much work put into this. But hey, I thank you guys out there for all your suggestions, your questions and answers and so forth. Because hey, I've been building for years, but a lot of things I'm learning new. I'm one of the old school guys. I'm learning a lot of new things, and I depend on you guys to help me. And you have, and I thank you. And like I said, it's all in good fun.